Summer crops are out of the ground, and here to take a look at how this year went, Chad Godsey, Extension Cropping Specialist. Chad, let's get started. Let's talk about soybeans today. How'd the crop do this year?
You know, overall, with the tough summer that we had, they did fairly well for the most part. Several guys were able to harvest their soybean fields, so you know that's always a plus when the price is as high as it is right now. So,
well, let's talk about varieties. How do the different varieties stack up throughout the year?
You know, looking back at 2012, the later maturity groups, the maturity group 5s typically did better overall than the maturity group 4s or 3s. And a lot of that has to do with you know, planting time, and then also where they were at in their growth stage when that peak stress came. You know, into July and early August when we were well over 100. So it really just came down to most of those maturity group 5s were still in vegetative growth phases, which soybeans can handle a tremendous amount of stress in those vegetative growth stages. So they were better positioned just because of their life cycle or their maturity length to handle that stress. So.
Okay. Now, another crop that's of interest here, you know, kind of an up-and-comer is sesame. How'd that do this year?
You know, same thing. In a lot of areas, it withstood the heat and the lack of rainfall. And we've had several guys that have harvested, you know, had successful harvests this fall. So definitely another option. And we really just need you know, if we just get a little bit of rain during July and early August, you know, we'd be setting for a really good crop with sesame.
Okay. Now, as we look ahead to 2013, of course, we don't know if that rain's going to come next year or not. But what are some things producers should be thinking about, planning for? Any kind of news you've got from the research?
You know, really, this is the perfect time of year. You know, once we get the variety trial results published and summarized, you know, sit back at the end of this year and look back and just evaluate, you know, what could have I done wrong or what could I have done differently? Planting date, variety selection, fertility, weed control, things like that. Sit back and say, kind of develop a plan for next year. And really that all starts with variety selection. So look back the last 2 or 3 years where we have data, you know, to pinpoint that variety trial and the responses, and pick a variety that's in the top group, you know, the yielding group. And then one of the big things is diversity. You know, we always talk about, you know, variety diversity, crop diversity, things like that. You know, when we have summers like we do the last 2 years, you never know which maturity group for soybeans is going to be the best. So, you know, plant a certain percentage of your acres to maturity group 4, and then on a few acres going with that maturity group 5. So at least you have some of your acres that are going to be that best ideal variety for that year.
Right, and stagger it for that. All right, well, that's good information. As always, Chad Godsey, our Extension Cropping Specialist. And if you'd like to take a look at some of the research and some of the data collected this year, go to our website, sunup.okstate.edu.